Welcome back, everyone. To those of you who have been very plugged in to the uranium sector, you probably noticed that Uranium Participation Corp has been doing something a bit unusual recently. So this video is basically going to be about what they're doing and why. So this video might be a little bit technical, but I'm going to try and keep it very simple. There are, I figure, probably about 5 people in the world that'll be interested in this, and seeing as one of them won't find it and 3 of them probably already saw my comment on it on Twitter, that leaves about 20% of the 5 people. Now, seeing as 5 might be a slight overstatement, I'll hopefully target 20% and then hopefully find, upwards of a billion viewers. Probably not, but anyway. So the point is, what has Uranium Participation Corp been doing? Well, they've essentially been selling uranium hexafluoride, UF6, and buying U3O8. And so this means that they've been shifting the focus of their portfolio, if you will, from midstream to upstream. So when I say from midstream to upstream, to those of you who are aware of how the uranium fuel cycle works, you start with mined uranium, U3O8, uranium oxide, and that first gets converted into UF6, and then the UF6 is able to be enriched and then turned into fuel. So the point is, recently, if you look at this fuel cycle, well, recently, the past year or two, you look at the parts near the end of the fuel cycle, and the prices have been moving slightly differently from the U3O8 price. And if you look at UF6, which is the second stage, if you will, the price is up a lot. And so it looks like Uranium Participation Corp is trying to capitalize on the fuel cycle, on what's going through the fuel cycle being digested, if you will. So why would you be doing something like this? That is selling something where the price is going up and buying something where the price has not been going up. Well, let's look at it a different way. If you thought that the market in the fuel cycle was tight, meaning there's little extra material floating around, and in a complicated or in a more extended process, when this happens, the spare material normally kind of gets sucked out from the back end and then the demand slowly transfers through. So if this was your thesis, you could look at the prices going through the fuel cycle and you see that the demand for the mined uranium, the U3O8, must increase at some point in order for the uranium hexafluoride to be made, because at a certain point, if you need more fuel down the line, you're going to need more feed to turn it into fuel. So if, again, if this was your thesis, then you might look at moving upstream to find some value within the fuel cycle. Now, I don't know what would cause them to think that this was happening, but if I were going to think, well, what would this look like? What would be happening? What would this cause? Well, I would think that this would be happening because I see that the conversion price is up a little bit. I mean, just a little bit from below $5 to above 22 in, well, 2 years, approximately, maybe less. So maybe something has changed. Maybe something is going through the system. Maybe it is just a something else. In basic terms, if you need the UF6 and if the price is, well, high, then eventually one could presume that, there's demand there. So eventually there will be demand and more will need to be made. And that means more more U3O8 will be needed, and since some would view there being a deficit there, the price would probably need to move up. Now, the bottleneck in the conversion. So obviously there is not that much, well, it doesn't seem like there's an excess supply of conversion because the price just keeps going up. So within that early part of the fuel cycle, there is a bottleneck, meaning or resulting in the price in that part of the fuel cycle being overpriced relative to the other parts. So what Uranium Participation Corp is trying to do is they're trying to arbitrage this difference by selling what they perceive to be more expensive and buying what they perceive to be underpriced. So what do I think about the strategy? Well, from a long-term perspective, I like it. At U.P.C, they're using the tools that and the opportunities that the market is giving them to try and create value for their shareholders. Now, if you're looking in the extreme short term, 1 month, 2 months, whatever, it might look like it might be unwise or might not be the right move, if you will, because if you look at the UF6 price, it's going up now, and the U3O8 price, it has been trending up a little bit recently, but largely, if you look at the past 18 months, UF6 versus U3O8, UF6 has done a little better. So it might not look brilliant in the near term, but I suspect if we look back in 2 years and see how the prices have moved or which returned a better amount, I suspect that this will look wise. So thanks for watching, the 1 or 20% of you. And all I can say is we'll have to keep tabs on if they're right. And I think they are and hope they are. So have a great day, everyone.